Oh no.
Hi, sis. And brother Jesus.
Good morning. I have a visitor,
You do. Oh, he's beautiful.
isn't he? Look at
Yes.
that. What a
Oh,
smile. That's how I remember him.
that's beautiful.
Radiant smile.
Yes.
Always laughing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Looks a
so
bit like you, sis, without a beard. I
good.
mean, beard.
Yeah. Yeah, just like him. Oh, thanks for putting that up. Yeah, that really, he should be here in every lesson. He is, but that's a powerful photo. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Images here in the dream can help
Yes, they
to
do.
invoke the presence.
They're wonderful
Yeah.
symbols. Yeah.
Yeah.
When repurposed. Okay, so we're on lesson 313, and we're going to let Jesus and Sis read and unpack this one.
Are we on 312? Or I think we're on
Oh, I'm
312.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
312.
Yeah. Lesson 312. I see all things as I would have them be. Wow, that's powerful. Wow. I see all things as I would have them be. In other words, I see all things as I desire them to be.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, also,
I just need to, share one thing, sis, and
mm-hmm.
then hold that for a second, if you wouldn't
Yeah,
mind,
sure.
is that I'm either wishing with the ego or I'm willing with God,
Right.
right? So what were you going to say?
Well, I see all things as I would have them be, and that decision is based on how I see myself.
Okay, so can we talk about
It,
that? How
yeah.
you see yourself? Are you
Well, we go in and we decide what we are, mythical me or the Son of God. Based on that decision, we elect the teacher that leads us through our mind through the day. Holy Spirit, if we're the Christ, or the ego thought system, if we're mythical me. And so that election of the teacher is going to inevitably result in the images in how we see and what we see. Yeah. So what we're looking upon is like 3 degrees moved out from the first choice of, who am I?
Mm.
So we're not seeing anything happening to us. We're never victimized by what perception is showing us, how we're seeing, how we're feeling, what we're hearing, what we're sensing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because those are the messengers that are sent out by physical sense, and they will return to us what we've asked them to go get. So the ego go fetch me some fearful images, go fetch me conflict or lack or disease. Holy Spirit takes all the symbols in the world and says, "Let me show you. Let the truth be revealed. Let there be light." Resting upon all things. Let there be loveliness. Let there be union and joining.
Mm.
So it's accountability, but not for judgment.
Mm. So I look in before I look out.
That's a much better way of saying it.
Yeah, no, it's just
It's
it's the
true.
same
Yes.
thing. But
Yes.
that means with everything. So I can adopt a very quick process by just, where am I right now? What am I believing?
Yes.
Which identity do I believe I am? Am I triggered? If I'm triggered, then it's obviously the ego that's triggered. It's not the Christ,
Mm-hmm.
not the holy self.
No, can't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm reminded of when I woke up that morning of, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, and heard the voice say, awareness of dreaming is your real function, right? Awareness of dreaming.
Yes.
And so that's got to be a commandment that's brought in to every thought we have, every reaction we seem to have.
Yes.
So, okay, so if I'm triggered, I must be dreaming. And this is an hallucination.
Right.
Could it be real?
No.
Do I want to see the truth beyond the hallucination?
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking Jesus. He's laughing.
Yes.
Do you think that's his response to everything
Everything.
in the illusion?
Everything. It's the only appropriate response. When we get enough distance between what we think we are and what we really are, we can laugh. But while we think the ego is ourselves, it would be most offended. You don't care.
Right.
But
Because
back to your point, yes, yeah. And you wake up in the morning like it's, who are you? Am I dreaming?
yeah. Thank you. So I see all things as I would have them be,
Mm-hmm.
which I.
Yeah, that's the question.
Okay. Perception follows judgment. So we judge first. We judge which identity we want to come from. Yeah.
Yes.
And then our perception follows, right?
It honors that choice.
Okay. So having judged, we therefore see what we would look upon. In other words, we want to look upon, right?
Yeah.
For sight can merely serve to offer us what we would have, what we would want.
Mm-hmm.
It is impossible to overlook, to forgive, what we would want to see,
Mm-hmm.
and fail to see what we have chosen to behold. How surely, therefore, must the real world come to greet the holy sight of anyone who takes the Holy Spirit's purpose as his goal for seeing. And he cannot fail to look upon what Christ would have him see and share Christ's love for what he looks upon.
Okay, so no reaction to what our physical senses are reporting to us. We can simply look at those as pointers as to, where we're believing we are, or who we are. So again, it's never about fixing anything in the world or on the body or manipulating. Nothing outside of the mind, nothing beyond the mind needs to. It's like these are just pointers of where I'm at. Who am I dreaming, or am I with the Holy Self? Am I allowing my Holy Self to have, use this as a communication device, right?
Right.
So when you look at it like that, there's no threat. There's no fear. It's just, oh, this is a pointer of where I am at in my mind, like who I'm identifying with. That's the only correction. So he says you have one problem and one solution.
So it comes down to, what do we want?
Yes.
What do we really want? So my perception and consequently the manifestation in my seeming world follows as evidence of what I originally want, right?
Yes.
What I really want. So the big thing would be, do I really want to see my brothers and sisters as sinless, as innocent, and therefore to see myself as sinless and innocent? Or do I have to ask this, do I want to see myself as guilty? Do I want to see my brothers as guilty? In other words, do I want to see myself and my brothers and sisters as bodies?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Comes down to that, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, do I want to be a body or do I want to be spirit? And if I want to be a body, then I need guilt in my mind, and that I'm going to put out onto my brothers. And so I want to see my brothers as bodies. I want to have my judgment overlaid upon them. I want to see the fear and guilt in my mind anywhere but on myself, or, we could project it on the body or into the world. But also that while that's true, then also the counter choice is also available for us at any time. If my brother is overlaid with my choice to be a body and the decision for guilt, then it's in my releasing my brother from the guilt that I've overlaid upon them, that brings me, it reverses the process, right? It's just
Right.
unraveling the way that we went out through projection back into the first choice of I'm spirit, I am not a body.
Mm.
Yeah.
It comes back to forgiving ourselves for our erroneous perception.
Belief. Yeah,
Yeah.
the belief that we were separate.
Mhm. Yep. Okay, I'll keep reading the lesson. Where am I up to? The second paragraph?
Yeah, the prayer. I have no.
Oh, the prayer. Okay, here we are. I have no purpose for today except to look upon a liberated world, set free from all the judgments I have made. Father, this is your will for me today, and therefore it must be my goal as well. Beautiful. Yeah. What do we want?
Above all else, I want to see with vision, with Christ vision. Because really, it comes down to our desire is Lord and Master over our experience. You know, I mean,
Well
doesn't judgment follow the desire?
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, the desire and then judgment and then perception.
Well, we make the judgment first, right? I think that's how it works. We make the judgment, I want X.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes from which identity do
Yeah.
we align with? Yeah. And then, of course, the perception arises from that judgment.
Right.
And then comes a manifestation of that original judgment.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, the world just serves that. I still feel like it's this thing about I want separation or I want to know myself as at home.
Mm.
And because of the power in my mind, that desire sparked our desire, collectively, in the mind of the one mind that we share, that choice of I wonder what that was like. There was that, even in the question was a desire to know the answer to that question, and this all arose in response to that. While it's not real, it's pretty profound. And then it's keeping judgment, using judgment to keep the illusions real. And we're off to the races in shit.
Look, Jesus is laughing again.
Yeah.
Mm.
How's that working for you girls? Not very well, thank you very much. Okay.
Well, thank you, sis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing at all this with you guys. Thank you. Just
Yeah.
again and again, repeat, and let it, filter down. And I'm realizing, I've learned a lot. I could say that I know a lot about the ego thought system and how it works, and I know a lot of the metaphysics. Being raised in Christian Science, I'm grateful for that. But there comes a time where there's this inward turning and a kind of a pulling away from the world, which I seem to be going through, which is just, it's really like rehashing and learning and the application of it. The mind was so eager to learn, but there's a time of going within and really doing the inner work, because there's no outer work to be done. But there seems to be, a season that I'm passing through of just like sitting in and examining every thought instead of just talking about it, but really applying it, owning everything that, the mind has learned. Yeah, and it's a different feeling altogether. You know, it's one thing to be able to spout it and help somebody else, but really letting it be the truth for you and all that there is to you. And I'm grateful for it. I, this, it
You're
seems
being
like,
unstuck.
hmm?
You're being unstuck.
Unstuck. Yeah. Well, yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Would you rather go back to the past? Interesting
No.
place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
No.
in between two continents, you're swimming in the
Well,
ocean.
it's kind of weird. Can I just be emotional with you guys for a moment?
Oh, please do.
Because
Love.
you realize that there's nothing in the ego world, and the ego world is death. We don't need to be in a casket to be dead. Um, and yet the ego on the other side of it, it also feels like a concrete wall because you're up against the seeming biggest obstacles in the ego thought system. And you come to a place where you're not sure that you're going to get through it. So it's like you're going to, you can't go back. But there comes a time where you're sitting there and it looks like you can't go forward. And then you're told that the one that has to go forward, you can't rely on anything that you've ever known. You can't rely on the self to bail you out. So, and I'm hesitant to even talk about this because I want everybody to come along. I want you all to get on board with this and awaken, and there's been such beautiful peace and clarity and joining and a real love. It's undeniable that there's great healing going on. But the ego doesn't go away without a mighty struggle, and it ramps up. And the word viciousness is appropriate. And then you go to your old toolbox, which always worked, and you realize that that's not going to work this time.
No, because it's a spiritualized ego that's pulling the tools out to keep its false identity alive.
Yeah.
Even the spiritualized ego has to go, and that's what you're going through.
Yes. Yes. And then there's this: do you trust enough, to really let the spiritualized ego go? Do you trust that he's got you? And while I've had those moments, a lot of moments, there's still this thing in my head that just says he may not show up. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. And it's like my sister keeps saying, it's like jumping out of the airplane. I don't know how this is going to go, but I just know that I can't save myself. And I'm trusting in this one whose hand I cannot hold, a body I cannot hug, something I can't see with physical senses. I'm being asked to have more faith and trust in that in the darkest moments, and not try and lean on anything that I've ever used before. And so it's very disconcerting. But
Yes, yes.
I can feel all of you, and I can feel your hearts when you write, and I can feel our family and the joinings. And sis, I always feel you. So I know that what I am, I'm not this individuated thing, right? It's just when I say I don't trust, who am I not trusting? My holy self.
How can we trust something we don't know?
I don't know.
So this is where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
We're learning to trust. We're learning to undo what we're not in order to know what we are. And
Okay.
as what we are comes in to our experience, we can afford to trust that. And that's what you're doing. And I really do believe that with us doing these lessons with our beautiful family here has accelerated you in this process.
No doubt. There's zero doubt. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm not doing this alone. I haven't been brought here because of anything that I did. There's just been a tremendous undoing because of the joinings of what I'm not. And so what I am is being more and more revealed, and there's no hierarchy of illusions. There's no reason to think that the last of this isn't going to simply be undone for me. It's all about trust.
It is, and you're not doing anything.
Right.
And that's what you're going to see.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. And there'll be a great, great sense of relief when you finally see it. You've seen glimpses of it.
I've totally seen how I've been carried, and that Coreen has had nothing to do with the awakening process, and it's grace and all of that. And then, it just, the ego goes, yeah, well, what about this, And to not move, to not be moved, to not go into fear, just to stand there and say, and this too shall be overcome, and not by anything that I'm doing.
Well, we are with you, sis.
I know that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No accident that his image
I know.
I think his face is telling you the outcome. I mean, what do you think the outcome is when you look at that?
Joy and laughter and a surety. Like, hey, sis, the truth is true.
And nothing else is true.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll all be laughing.
All of us will be. Absolutely, sis.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a given. It has to be. Otherwise, there is no God.
Right.
Right? So I see all things as I would have them be, as I, the Holy Self, would have them be. I see all things as I would have them be. I declare it.
Yeah.
This is a course in miracles. It's not a course in devastation.
No. No, it's not. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Jesus. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Be of good cheer. I have overcome the world, he said.
That's right. So we just need to accept it and receive it.
Yeah.
Nothing else we can do.
That's right. It's already been overturned and done. Thank you.
That's the atonement.
Mm-hmm.
And we were with him.
Yes. Jesus is a good guy. Yeah, all gratitude. Thanks, family. Thank you so much. Thanks for just rocking arms. Yeah.
Yeah, see, we're all linked up. We've all linked our arms and we're all walking together into the light.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, what a party.
Yeah.
What a celebration.
And there's some of you out there right now that want to know that our arms are locked specifically with you, and I'm assuring you that in this moment we are.
Yeah.
Our love is that great. We can easily enfold the sonship in the love that is us.
And we are.
We are. That's right. Okay. We love you. very much. Thank you guys for being here, and
Thank you.
we'll see you again.
Thank you, beautiful sis, for sharing your heart with us all.
Yeah, of course. That's how we heal. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.